Certainly it's been an amazing year. Lots of change, lots of evolution for the streaming TV ecosystem, certainly in the premium space. But what I think we are most excited about, at least at FreeWheel, is how do we continue to push against making TV, streaming, multi-screen viewing easier. I think that's one of the biggest hurdles we have. And it comes in many different formats. You think about fragmentation, which is a lot of what this event has been about. You think about the urgency as major premium broadcasters are trying to compete more effectively with walled gardens. You think about supply path optimization and making sure we have the most direct path between buyer and seller. Those are the things that are most important as we think about 2025. And then finally, how does it all get wrapped with data? Identity data, audience data, for both buy and sell sides, to do something very special and unique with their audiences, with their customers, and do it in a way that doesn't sacrifice privacy or trust between the buyer, the seller, and that consumer.
And 2024 was a year which saw US elections and a year which saw candidates embrace connected TV and streaming advertising to a greater extent than ever. What patterns did you see?
Well, there was a few things. One, it was a very unpredictable campaign season for the US politics. But one thing I did see, if I compare it to 2020, was very much a lean in on the way in which to transact programmatically. And so we saw in the streaming space the adoption of CTV, politics, political spending, issue money certainly came into the streaming arena in a bigger way, in a programmatic way, and we saw around 1,000% growth in spend between 2020 and 2024. So certainly I don't think that's going to be a trend that's going to slow down anytime soon.
And an election, of course, is about democracy, yes. And you believe that connected TV advertising ecosystem itself needs to be democratized.
Absolutely. I think when you look at where TV is today and streaming is today, CTV, it's complex. A single piece of content from a publisher can be consumed on more than 400 different endpoints at any one time. That's complexity. Oftentimes, smaller brands have led and kind of leaned into walled gardens, social types of ways of transaction, because it's easy. As we think about democratizing TV, we have to make it as easy for those small businesses, digital first products and marketers, so that they can access TV in a more meaningful way. CTV is a great way to do that, and doing that through programmatic ways of transacting.
Yeah, finally, how do you simplify the ecosystem in 25?
A lot of hard work, but I think there's really three areas where we'll focus. One, it is how do we start to bring converged ways of looking at TV, streaming, which is we have to start to make linear TV act a lot more like streaming. Programmatic, automation, consistency of data, these are great ways in which to do that. And then that unlocks a lot of the power for brands to start to enter and transact, just like they do with the walled gardens. And so that's one. The second big thing is how do we ensure that we're not overemphasizing on technology? There's a lot of talk around supply path optimization, too many hops between buyer and seller. And so how do we make the most direct connection between the person with the money and the person with that audience, so that there is more working media, there's more efficient ways, less operational complexity, and that we're delivering the most effective results for advertisers. That's really the big focus for 2025.